Umang is there or not? Umang Sharma is present or
Yes,
not?
sir.
Let me
Yes,
see.
sir.
Amang,
Sir,
which topic?
dimension.
Dimensions of various environment. You know,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
which I think we have discussed two dimensions. Anurag, which
Yes,
two we
sir.
have discussed? Anurag,
Yes, sir.
which two dimensions we have discussed yesterday or in the previous class?
Sir, economic and social.
Okay, can you give some information about these two, economic and social?
Sir,
Economic environment, Ansita Sahu. Ansita, Ansita, are you there? Okay. Ah, can you speak about various environment, dimensions of various environment, economic and social? Palak Kavra. Palak,
Yes, sir.
speak something about these two dimensions which we discussed yesterday. Economic dimension or economic aspect and social dimension or social aspect. What happened? Parth, Parth Kavra.
Yes, sir.
Economic dimension of various environment.
Sir,
Hmm. Okay. Vispas Sharma.
Yes, sir.
Tell me something about economic environment or economic dimension.
Sir, in economic environment, sir, there are some factors that, sir, interest rates, inflation rates,
Okay. Good.
sir, income disposition.
Household disposable income, है ना? Disposable income.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very good. In social environment,
In social environment, sir, these include social forces like values, social trends,
hmm.
etc.
Okay. Okay. Good. Sarad Rai.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell something about these two? Acha, which five dimensions we discussed yesterday? Broadly, Venus environment consists of five dimensions. Which are the five dimensions? Can you tell?
सर मैं लास्ट टाइम क्लास में नहीं पढ़ा था
Okay.
मैं
Okay.
पढ़ा
Okay. No
दूंगा.
problem. No problem. Now try to read it, है ना? Whenever you get the time,
Yes,
so
sir.
try to read it. Harsi.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. There are five dimensions: political,
एक मिनट से
economic,
कौन दे? हाँ हाँ. Good. Yes.
economic and technological, legal, and social.
Okay. Okay. Good. Very good. In between, someone else wanted to tell. Please tell. Who wanted to show?
sir, I.
Okay, Parth. Yes, please. Parth.
Sir, first is economic environment.
Good.
Second is social environment,
Very good.
and third is technological environment.
Hmm.
Fourth, legal environment, and fifth, political environment.
Very
Environment.
good. Very good. Very good. Okay. So these are five dimensions of various environment. First is the economic environment, which consists of interest rates, GDP, gross domestic product, household disposable income, you know, then other factors what we discuss. So these factors affect the business. If there is change in the interest rate or there is change in the household disposable income or change in the bank rate or exchange rate, all these factors affect the businesses. Every business is affected by these changes. Similarly, social environment, change in traditions, beliefs, customs, traditions of the society. Uh, if there is any change in social beliefs or traditions, that also affect business in general. So all businesses are affected by these changes. So now first let us see a video on this uh, business environment, then we will go ahead. So let me present my screen. Okay, so screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now let us see this video, what it says about this dimensions of business environment.
All businesses operate within a large macro framework, elements of the business environment. All businesses operate within a large macro framework called business environment. The business environment constitutes all factors external to business enterprise. These factors include economic, political, legal, social, and technological elements. Elements of the business environment cannot be controlled by a business. However, they exert a tremendous influence on the performance of the business.
Okay, so you can see in this chart also, here are the elements of business environment: economic environment, political, legal, social, and technological environment. And what it says that these factors are external, which are beyond the control of the business. Business has no control over these factors, but these factors have the capacity to affect the performance of the business. Okay, now let us see ahead.
Click each element to learn more about it.
Okay, so there are five factors: economic, political, legal, social, and technological. Let us see first economic environment.
Economic elements such as the rate of inflation, interest rates, foreign investment policy, and stock market indices have a major impact on the performance of businesses.
Okay, so
For
rate of
example, if the Reserve Bank of India decides to cut the interest rate at which banks borrow money from it, then the cost of borrowing for banks would go down. Banks would then be able to lower the interest rates at which they lend money. Lower interest rates would make bank loans a lot more attractive for individuals and businesses. Individuals would borrow more money from banks and consumer spending would grow. Businesses would also be able to borrow more money from banks. This would enable the businesses to expand their production capacities to meet the growing consumer demand. Growth and expansion would ultimately lead to higher profits for businesses.
Okay, so this is the one example taken from the economic environment. If interest rates are reduced by RBI or Reserve Bank of India, then it will reduce the cost of borrowings by business and industry. Business and industry will borrow more money and they can increase the level of production, as well as common man can also borrow more money from the banks and they can spend more money, and that will increase their standard of living, as well as because of increased demand, profits or prosperity of the business will also increase. So this way every factor, change in every factor of economic environment, that will affect the business performance. Like disposable income, yesterday I gave you an example. We discussed the difference between income and disposable income, है ना? So disposable income is the net income which is available to a person to spend. That is called disposable income. So I explained, suppose the income or salary of a person is 1 lakh rupees, that is called gross salary. But out of this gross salary, some mandatory deductions are being made. Like some amount is deducted for PF contribution, some amount is deducted for income tax, TDS, tax deducted at source. Some amount may be deducted for house rent provided by the company. Some amount may be deducted for fees of the children of the employee paid by the company. So these deductions are being made, and after making all these deductions, the net salary is paid to the employee. So suppose let us take an example that out of 1 lakh, employer deduct 30,000 rupees, so employee gets rupees 70,000. So though the income of the employee is 1 lakh, but disposable income is only 70,000. So for the market, this 70,000 is important because this will affect the spending of the employee. If household income, disposable income increases, definitely employees or consumers will have more money to spend. They would like to buy more products. That will increase the demand in the market. And surely, if demand will increase, sales and profits of the business will increase. Okay, but if disposable income is reducing, suppose in today's scenario, in COVID-19 scenario, most of the companies or firms are reducing the salary is cut, it is reduced. It means that household income will reduce, employees will get less net salary. And that means they have to cut some or the other expenses. Ultimately, it is going to affect in the market. Some businesses will be adversely affected because now people will not be able to spend money on that those items. So definitely, when the income is less, people like to spend money on essential items. You know, first they spend money on essential or necessities, then they go for luxuries. So definitely, if incomes are falling, the demand for luxuries will definitely reduce, and these companies who are making luxuries or products, they will get aware that this demand for our product will reduce in future. So this way, these factors of economic environment, they affect the consumers as well as the market also. Right, Ram? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, first we will see second that we discussed yesterday. Second we discussed that is social environment. So let us see social
The social
environment.
environment of a business consists of the customs, trends, and values of the society it functions in. Traditional practices, such as festival celebrations, can provide significant business opportunities. Social trends, such as the growing demand for organic food, can also impact a business. Here's a scenario to help you understand this better. This is Shyam, a vegetable seller. For the past few months, Shyam's customers have been inquiring about organic vegetables. Shyam realizes that he risks losing customers if he doesn't start offering organically grown vegetables. Shyam sources organic vegetables from the wholesale market. He also makes a separate section in his shop for organic vegetables. Customers are pleased with Shyam's offerings. Shyam's sharp business acumen has helped him identify a changing social trend and capitalize on a business opportunity.
Okay, so this is social environment, change in traditions, beliefs, customs of the society, as we discussed. And I also gave you an example that what is the impact of these changes on the business. So I took the example from the current scenario, as I discussed that organizing marriage function in a traditional way, that was uh, a tradition which is followed by North Indian people, and in marriage function of North India, a large number of people are invited. So number goes from, as we discussed, 500 to 2,000 or 3,000 persons. But now suppose because of this conditions of COVID-19 and government restriction is there, government is not permitting, and people are not ready to take risk to call more number of people, that there is a possibility of uh, infection of COVID. coronavirus. So the number of people is reduced, many rituals are being dropped, so expenditure in all on marriage is being reduced. So because of this change in tradition, or maybe for short time, but it is adversely affecting the business of many firms which are engaged in different types of products. Okay, so this any change, you know, suppose after few days or after few years, because of increased this uh, what we say colors, है ना, chemical colors, impact of chemical colors, harmful effect of chemical colors. Government makes a law that artificial colors or these chemical colors cannot be used while playing the Holi. Then what will happen, that market for these uh, colors will be reduced and these firms will have to find out some other business. So this way, any change in traditions of society that affect the performance of business also. You know, it takes away the opportunities from some businesses, but it is possible that the one tradition is replaced by another tradition. So that will create market for some other business. Okay, so that's way social environment affect the performance of the business or industry. Okay, now let us see political environment.
The political environment of a country consists of the country's political system and the system's attitude towards businesses. A stable government encourages. Click each element to learn more about it. The political environment of a country consists of the country's political system and the system's attitude towards businesses. A stable government encourages businesses and foreign investors to invest in long-term projects. A government with a business-friendly policy enables businesses to take on new initiatives.
Okay, so political environment basically consists of political stability or political system in the country, like a country is a democratic country or monarchy or autocratic, or uh, political ideology or attitude of the political party in power towards the business, its economic policies, political stability. These form the political environment for the business. If there is a political stability, governments are stable, investors feel safe, and they can make the plans of long-term investment in that country. You can see the example of India and Pakistan, and you can compare that what is the trend of investment in India and what is the trend of investment in Pakistan. Can you say that investors are equally attracted by both the countries? Sairam, rate of investment by foreigners is same in India and Pakistan.
No, sir.
Why? What is the difference in India and Pakistan's political system? Is there a political stability in Pakistan?
No, sir.
No, so there is no political stability. So that's why there may be any time a crisis on law and order situation. Business investments can be lost. So firms are not sure and they are not willing to invest their money in such countries where there is a political instability. If there is political stability, then they like, and even they like that political ideology of the parties also affect a lot. You know? You can see in India also that BJP is not in favor of public sector. You know? BJP's ideology is not in favor of public sector. They are in favor of private sector. So whenever there is a BJP government in center or in the state, they are more uh, what we say tilting or uh, uh, what we focusing on privatization. And but if there is a Congress government, they are more concerned about the public sector. So this is the change in the attitude of the government. So suppose you are working in a private sector and you see that BJP government is going to come in the power, you can expect that you will get more opportunities because this government's ideology or political thinking is based on private sector. So this way that political ideology also gives or takes away the opportunities from the business. Okay, so this political stability, political system, attitude of the government toward the business, no, so these also impact the performance of the business. So let us see again this political environment.
Click each element to learn more about it. Click each element to learn more about it. Here are the key points covered in this media. Click each. All businesses operate within a large macro framework called business environment. Click each element to learn more about it.
Now this is political environment.
The political environment of a country consists of the country's political system and the system's attitude towards businesses. A stable government encourages businesses and foreign investors to invest in long-term projects. A government with a business-friendly policy enables businesses to take on new initiatives and expand. Here's a fictitious scenario depicting the impact of the political environment on a business. Prakriti Textiles purchases land from a group of farmers in a state to set up a factory. A few months later, a new political party comes to power in the state. This party is opposed to the establishment of factories on rural agricultural land. After several failed negotiations with the party, Prakriti Textiles is forced to discard its plans to set up a factory, thereby incurring huge losses due to the purchase of land.
You can see the same example as given here. That is if some of you can recall, this is the example of West Bengal. Tata and this project, Tata brought the project Nano car. If you can remember, the car is low cost car. So this project was originally started by Tata in West Bengal. At that time, there was a CPM government, Communist Party's government, and during the Communist Party's government, this Tata company developed a what we say economic zone, a special economic zone in Bengal, and they purchased a lot of land from the farmers, and they did initial work in Bengal, and they were intended to set up their plant in the Bengal, West Bengal. But what happened? Suddenly there is change in the government in Bengal, and Mamata Banerjee came into power. And as soon as Mamata Banerjee came into the power, she was not interested in this type of huge plants, which takes thousands of hectares of land from the farmers. So she created some problems for the Tatas, and she did not approve the agreement made by Tatas and this previous government. So now Tatas were forced to bind up their plant from West Bengal, and they started that plant in Gujarat. So that project was shifted from West Bengal to the Gujarat. So that is the example of change in the government or change in the political parties. So one party may prefer one project, but other party may not prefer. That also can create a loss for the business. That's why political stability is important for long-term projects in the business. Let us see it ahead.
The political environment of a country consists of the country's political system and the system's attitude towards businesses. A stable government encourages businesses and foreign investors to invest in long-term projects. A government with a business-friendly policy enables businesses to take on new initiatives and expand. Here's a fictitious scenario depicting the impact of the political environment on a business. Prakriti Textiles purchases land from a group of farmers in a state to set up a factory. A few months later, a new political party comes to power in the state. This party is opposed to the establishment of factories on rural agricultural land. After several failed negotiations with the party, Prakriti Textiles is forced to discard its plans to set up a factory, thereby incurring huge losses due to the purchase of land.
Okay, so now this is the political environment. So have you understood this political system? So political stability, political ideology, system of government in the country that also affect the performance of business. Sairam, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So now let us see next legal environment. है ना? So let me explain first. Legal environment consists of laws passed law, है ना? LAW, laws passed by the parliament, legislative assemblies, or decisions of the high court, supreme courts, and different committees set up by the government. That consists of the legal environment. है ना? So legal environment consists of different laws or acts passed by the parliament or state legislative assemblies. It also consists of decisions of the court as well as recommendations or reports of the different committees constituted by the government on different issues. So these laws may provide opportunities for some businesses or may create problems for some other businesses. So because every business has to abide by the law of the country, it is compulsory for the business to follow the law. So if there is change in the law, that will that may create opportunities for the business or that may create threats for the business. So let us see what is the legal environment.
Businesses must abide by the legal framework of the country in which they operate. The managers of a business must have adequate knowledge of the rules and regulations governing their specific industry. Modifications to existing laws directly impact businesses. Let's look at one such scenario. A court passes a judgment banning the use of plastic bags. A plastic bag manufacturer is severely impacted by this judgment. The firm's management decides to switch to cloth and paper bags so as to continue the business in compliance with the judgment.
Okay, so this is the judgment by the court. As I said, decisions of the court also are the part of the legal environment. So either any new law is being passed by the government or existing laws are being amended or changed or some committees are set up by the government and they give some recommendations and their recommendations are related to business, then also business is affected and they have to follow the law. So they have to change their technologies, products or methods or policies according to the new law. है Last one is the technological environment. Technological environment consists of change in the technology. Maybe new techniques are being developed, innovation is necessary. So because of technical advancement, because of development of new technologies, business is forced to innovate their products, change their method of production. Because if we will not accept the new technology, we will not use the new technology, our cost of production will be higher as compared to competitors and we will not be able to compete in the market or we cannot uh, compete on quality front because our products will not be of upgraded quality if we do not accept the technological changes. So technical changes also impact the performance of the business. Now let us see what are the technological environment.
Advancements in technology have always significantly impacted businesses. Many business operations that were done manually are now automated. The use of computer software for functions such as record keeping and payroll has improved business productivity and reduced costs. Businesses can now communicate with clients across the world via video conferencing. Email and mobile phones have also helped in the quick transfer of information. Businesses can now reach customers located in far-off places by having a presence on the internet. Businesses can also transfer and receive funds easily through e-banking. Improvements in telecommunications have also helped businesses outsource jobs such as customer service over the phone. Though technology is a boon for many businesses, it may also prove to be a bane for some. For instance, typewriter manufacturers were wiped out with the advent of computer-based word processors. The dawn of digital photography brought about a downturn for companies selling photographic film products. Adapting to the latest trends in technology is the prudent way for a business to survive and grow.
Okay, so now technological changes affect the performance, and because of these changes, some businesses may lose their market, as you have seen in the example that old camera films or old cameras, they are out of the market now. Today, there is no system of developing the reel and all that. So new digital cameras have come in the market. So the business for those firms is lost, but market for the digital cameras has increased. So this way we have to keep on watching what technological changes are coming in the environment, and we have to inculcate these changes, or we have to change ourselves according to change in the technology. So these five factors are considered as the external environment: economic factors, political factors, legal factors, social factor, and technological factors. These all are beyond the control of the business, but any change in these factors affect the performance of the business. One more important thing that I explained to you, that if there is change in one environmental factor, that may lead to the change in the other factors of environment also. Okay, so this is about the business environment, sorry, factors of business environment, external factors of business environment. Now I'm stopping sharing. Okay, Tairam, am I audible? Okay, so if you want to ask anything, you can ask. Otherwise, how much time is there? What is the time? 3 minutes, 3 to 3 minutes are left. So you can leave, or you can ask something if you want to ask. We will continue. Tomorrow, I think I don't have any class in. है ना? Tomorrow is the Friday, so I have one class, है ना? 12th BS class, ना? 4 to 5 session, 4 to 4:40. So we will continue with this same topic, various environment. By that time, you try to practice questions of valuation of goodwill. So this will be helpful in completing the topic we are discussing, that is change in profit sharing ratio. So that we will continue, as well as it is useful at the time of admission of the partner also. So keep on doing this, and if you want to ask something, you can ask. Otherwise, you can leave. Now I have to stop recording first.